fashion, I was totally not paying attention to the clock, and I'm late leaving to go watch Taylor. So, but I'll get there in time. So that was me rushing to get all of my food ready for the day. Fortunately, I am not going to be there all day, so I didn't have to pack as much. And I'm going to make a Costco trip after. I might go get my nails done first and then go to Costco afterwards. So stay tuned. Good morning. If you're new to my channel, my name is Elizabeth, and I am living in the light by sharing my healthy life and what I do to maintain my 160-pound weight loss. I lost 160 pounds between June of 2022 and November of 2023, and now I am working to keep it off. I was hoping to get in a 15-minute short bike ride this morning, but that didn't happen. So, but I'll get in a walk at Costco today and a lot of movement with Taylor as I go and watch her. So, if you like these kinds of videos, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I normally do this on a tripod where I don't have a shaky hand, but this is catch as catch can. So stay tuned for what I do today. You like your snack?
Coat.
You having a good snack?
Zazzy's coat.
Yeah, Zazzy's coat. What color is Zazzy's coat?
Out.
Ready to get out? Come here, let Zazzy help you. Thinking, Elizabeth, didn't you already have coffee and your probiotic this morning? Oh, well, yes, that was yesterday. And I recorded just a snippet with Taylor, which you just saw. And after that, it ended. So on my way to my son's house, I realized that my husband had taken my purse out of the car. I keep my purse in the car. It's in the garage, locked. We live out in the middle of the woods, so it just always sits in there. But he took my car to work on Monday and took my purse out of the car, and I didn't even think about it yesterday. So my son lives an hour away. Costco's an hour away. There was no way I was going to go home and get my purse and then go back. So hopefully on Friday I'll be able to make a Costco run. So I just kind of gave up on recording yesterday, and I'm going to just kind of tack that part as the beginning. And here is today. Yesterday I did my yogurt and fruit. I did my oatmeal and blueberries. For lunch I had a burger patty that I had made some burgers over the weekend and had some cucumbers and tomatoes. Then for the afternoon snack I had an apple and almond butter, and for dinner, we had leftovers from David's birthday dinner. So I had some pork and some Brussels sprouts. And then for my last fueling, I did the Kodiak pancakes that I do with some light cream cheese. I basically make a little sandwich of the waffles. Well, I do it as pancakes right now because my waffle maker is broken. And light cream cheese. So that was my evening. And so today I am just gonna do a very similar thing, but come along with me. I've got to teach today. I have a meeting this morning. I'm gonna ride my bike. I think I'm gonna try to make pizza dough this morning for my husband because I didn't get that done earlier. I'm gonna get that done and get that into the freezer. So let's just see what happens today. I am grading papers this morning, so I'm gonna have my second cup of coffee and wash up a few dishes. And then I'm gonna go back to grading papers for a little bit more before I have my first fueling, which will be yogurt and fruit. You know that I love that as my first one. So I'm gonna make my coffee. And again, I say this often, I don't know that adding collagen to my coffee is helping because I don't have anything to compare it to. I just am going to assume that this is a good thing to have, that it is a product that is supposed to help with your hair, your skin, your nails. So I'm going to just assume that my hair, skin, and nails are healthier because I use collagen. I use the unflavored in my coffee, 1 scoop. I've been doing it for almost a year now. I did not have problems losing hair during weight loss. My nails were terrible and still are really rough. I've got to keep them manicured, otherwise they split terribly. So I'm hoping that in the next year or so, as my nails grow out, that they will be healthier as they grow. And my skin, is my skin. I'm 58. I've lost 160 pounds. I'm going to have loose skin. That's just a reality. I don't think any amount of collagen is going to correct that. So I'm going to drink this cup of coffee with my collagen. I am going to grade some more papers, try to get at least 1 class done this morning, and maybe start on a 2nd class before I go for a ride on my recumbent bike. Since I didn't get to go to Costco, I'm down to my last couple of yogurts. I have enough to get me through till tomorrow morning, and hopefully I will be able to get to Costco. I guess even if I have to go in the evening on my way home, I'm going to go because I got to go to Costco. So let me tear that out. I like the Oikos 000, just my favorite, like texture-wise. I'm not opposed to low-fat yogurt, but this one I get at Costco, like super cheap, less than $1 a cup, a container, which you can't get that at the grocery store. And so I do that one. And then I like 100 grams for me is a nice round number. I don't have to look it up on a chart every time. And since I record all of my meals in an app, I use the Prosper app to track my macros. I just put in that I had 100 grams and it figures it out. So I don't have to be like, how much is a half a cup or a quarter of a cup? I just go by grams and that tells me my macros. So I'm doing 100 grams of, it actually came out to 112. That's all right. So that's what I'll put into Prosper is 112 grams of strawberries and my container of yogurt. And this is my first fueling of the day. I'm going to eat this. And then I think I'm going to ride my recumbent bike for about 30 minutes. Before I ride my bike this morning, I'm going to take my multivitamin and other vitamins, and I am going to make my oatmeal, which I should have done when I did my yogurt a little bit ago. That's okay. I do 2 of the multivitamins, 1 magnesium and 1 quercetin. Quercetin I use for seasonal allergies, which I have all year long. So this is just a natural way for me to control that without having to take something like Zyrtec, which I will take Zyrtec for about 3 or 4 days at the height of spring season when allergies get really bad, but I used to take it every single day. And so a functional medicine doctor said, stop taking that every day, try this, and it has been wonderful for me. I also take magnesium citrate. I like the Thorne brand that I get from Thrive Market. So I'm gonna take these. And I'm gonna make my oatmeal. I do 1/3 of a cup of old-fashioned rolled oats. I don't do the quick oats or the instant oats. Just the old-fashioned rolled oats, 1/3 of a cup. And then I put probably about a cup of water right out of my tea kettle into my thermos. Give it a little shake, and then this is going to sit here for the next couple of hours until I come back and show you. I've got oats that I just pulled out of the freezer that I'm letting come to room temperature so that they're not, I don't want any moisture in here. So I open the Ziploc bag and I just let it come to room temperature, and that allows any moisture to kind of evaporate that might have occurred while they're in the freezer. And so I will refill my jar a little later today. And I'm going to go hop on my recumbent bike and ride for about 30 minutes. And I like to watch YouTube videos when I do that. And I'm watching a family that has sails around the world. They've been doing it for, I think, like 7 or 8 years. I think the channel is called Sailing Zahara, Zahara, I think. So I just recently started watching them, and I've watched like their last Atlantic crossing. So I want to go back and watch their older videos. And then I also like to watch homesteader videos, and Acre Homestead is one of my favorites. Becky is fantastic, so much fun to watch. And I love I think it's Homesteading with the Zimmermans. I really like Ruth Ann. She's really sweet and enjoy watching her. And just kind of watched a few other ones. I'm just kind of getting into watching people canning because I'm going to learn how to do that this year. So off to ride my bike and watch some YouTube videos for about a half-hour ride today, I think. I'm going to make 4 pizza dough balls before I start my work day. The first thing that I do is I fill my KitchenAid bowl with super hot water and just let it sit for a few minutes. And then I'm going to just tuck some towels around the bottom. It's like not an exact science. I'm not even going to wrap the whole bowl, but I am going to help to keep it a little bit on the warm side. And then I'm going to fill my bowl with 2 cups of very warm water. No more than 110 degrees, a tablespoon and a half of yeast, and I keep my yeast in the freezer for the most part, and then I have this jar goes in the refrigerator, so my yeast is always fresh. I buy it in bulk. I'm putting in 2 teaspoons of sugar, and I'm going to give this just a little mix, and I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes just to help the yeast dissolve and for it to get a little bit foamy. I dropped my hook down into the mixture, so I got yeast on here. All right, so pop this back on. Let it sit for a few minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like once it is all foamy. This is going to sit here for 5 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay, let me show you how foamy this is. You can see the foam sitting on the top. We are good to go here. Hopefully that, I couldn't see what you could see, but hopefully it worked. I'm going to add to this 5 cups of flour. You will notice that I do not fluff up my flour. This is 1/4 cup of oil. I do not spoon it in and level it off. I worked in a bakery. You don't have to do that. I just scoop out, and I don't even, I mean, it's close enough to a cup. It's, you know, baking is definitely a science. You need to make sure that you get the ingredients in there, but having it like exactly so many grams is not that important. So teaspoon of salt, I use pink Himalayan salt, 1/4 cup of oil, 5 cups of flour, and I'm gonna let this go until it forms a ball. I'm gonna knead it for probably 5 minutes. Once it all comes together, I'll let it knead at a medium speed for about 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna divide it into 4 balls. I'll show you that process. I wanna show you something. Turn it off, and I'm gonna show you how, if you can see this dough, let me turn you down just a little bit. We bring you in. And you should be able to see that the dough is first of all, it's very, very sticky. And second of all, it's very rough. So I want you to see the difference between this now and what it looks like after it kneads for about 5 minutes. Okay, let me show you this now. You can see how much smoother the dough is, and it's not sticky. It's not sticking to my hands. So I'm going to take it off the dough hook. I mean, it still is somewhat sticky, but it's not as sticky as it was. If I had kneaded this by hand, I would have had to add more flour to the dough, which is why I like to use the KitchenAid, because more dough means a tougher bread, and I want my pizza dough to not be tough. I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to put this dough on the parchment, and I'm going to let this rise for about, I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap, and I'm going to let it rise for about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. While my dough is rising, I want to share this with you because I am actually going to be in a meeting when I eat this fueling. So I'm not going to be able to film it. So I'm going to show you now sort of how I'm going to put that fueling together. What I do is I will take my oatmeal from here. You saw me make it earlier. I will dump it into my bowl. And I will add to it a pinch of the pink Himalayan sea salt. Hang on. One more. So a pinch of this, a teaspoon of real maple syrup, and 100 grams of blueberries. I just weighed them out. I'm going to go wash them off so that they will be ready for me, so that in my meeting, I can just throw everything in here really quickly while I'm watching my meeting and not show you. But you've seen me do this before. This is my favorite fueling. I do this literally every single morning. Almost without fail, it is blueberries in my oatmeal. I do sometimes do applesauce. I'm going to show that one to you coming up probably in the next few days. This is the last of my blueberries from Costco, so I do hope I'm going to get there tomorrow, because my strawberries will be gone tomorrow, my blueberries will be gone tomorrow, my cucumbers will be gone today. My cherry tomatoes may last me, but I do have some other tomatoes that I can still use, so but it's definitely time for a Costco trip. This ended up I don't have time to let this prove anymore, and that's okay. It's fine if it doesn't get it's better to underprove your first rise, and so that your dough still has some room to rise when you do it again. So I am going to just go ahead and cut this into 4 pieces. And each of these I'm going to form into a ball and stick into a freezer bag. And I have my, this dough feels so good. I have my bags labeled pizza dough with the date. And so they're just gonna plop in here. and I'm gonna throw this in the freezer, and then what I will do is the morning that I wanna make pizza, I will just take the ball out of I can take it out the night before or the morning of and stick it in the freezer, and then in the refrigerator, and then probably about an hour-ish before I am gonna make the pizza, I will take it out and let it rise before I roll it out, and let it have a good hour to rise out of the refrigerator so it really gets a chance to come to room temperature. I will put the instructions for the pizza dough in the description box down below. This is for my husband. Occasionally I will have a piece of pizza made with pizza dough. Most of the time I just use cauliflower crust because I like it. And that saves me some carbs. So, in maintenance, you can have whatever you want as long as you are counting the calories, the carbs, you know, you're sticking to your limits. I've done it. I've had a piece of pizza and I enjoyed it. But these are all going into the freezer, and I'm gonna go to a meeting. I am gonna quickly make a salad, and I just do the same measurements pretty much for everything. I do 100 grams of romaine lettuce, 115 grams, that'll work. Then I'm going to do about 100 grams of cucumbers, $93, that's close. Probably 3 of these tomatoes is going to be perfect. $108 grams, yep. And then I pre-cooked chicken breast, and so I'm gonna switch this over to ounces, just because measuring the meat in ounces is a little bit easier for me. And I'm gonna add 3, maybe 4 ounces of chicken. Perfect. I have 4 ounces of chicken on there. I'm just gonna drizzle this with about a teaspoon-ish of olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm gonna use some rice wine vinegar. I don't count the vinegar, I don't count the salt and pepper. I do put in the oil because that definitely has calories. Very little calories, if anything, in those other things, so I don't count those. But this is gonna be my lunch. I'll put the macros for that here so you can see what that is. And I'm gonna enjoy this and keep working, teach a class. And after I teach my class, it will be about time for another thing to eat. Okay, I am going to cut up this apple. And I'm learning to eat apples with skin. And I am going to have this with a tablespoon of unsalted almond butter. I like the Costco brand, so that's what I use. And I just dip the apple in the almond butter. I'll leave the macros for that right here, but I'm working, so I'm gonna focus on work, and I'll see you after work for dinner. I'm waiting for my dinner to finish heating up, but I wanted to tell you that I had a viewer who reached out to me and asked me for a cost breakdown. What she's wanting to know is there a cost difference between continuing to use Optavia fuelings, or like doing 3 fuelings and then 3 of your own things, or just doing your own food? So what I am going to do is just basically for this next week, I'm going to do a cost breakdown. I'm going to Costco tomorrow, and then I probably will hit up Aldi on Saturday morning for
like meal prep kind of stuff that I need. I really don't need to buy any proteins. I've got tons of protein in my freezer, and I still have some frozen vegetables as well. I have lots of leftover frozen, like I really don't need to do a lot of grocery shopping, but I really want to help out and give some cost breakdown for some things. I also have a bar recipe. I will be recording that either tomorrow or Saturday. It's a good one. It'll be really good. It's a good protein bar that you can make, and it's no bake. So that's really nice. So I'm excited about that. So that is part of my plan. Right now I have in the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when I take it out. I had made the veggie lasagna for Christmas, and that is in that Bake With Me video. I'll link it in the description box down below so you can access it if you want it. I might even stick a little card up here so you can click on that and access it. Every once in a while I can figure out how to do that. So if you want to see the veggie lasagna, you can watch that video, and but that's what I'm having for dinner tonight. So it's not a lot of calories because it's all veggies, and so I was able to put a little extra cheese on the top of it to make it a little extra nice, and it's ready for me. So I'm gonna go grab that out and I'll show you what it looks like. So here's my super hot, bubbly, cheesy veggie lasagna. I'll put the macros for that right here. I'm going to enjoy this. And we'll come back in a little bit and talk about what I'm going to eat for my very last fueling for today. So before I go to bed tonight, my last fueling is going to be one of my maple oat cookies. I did the recipe recently. 128 calories for one of these. It is a perfectly sweet treat for the end of the night. So I'm going to enjoy this and do some unwinding and call it a day. So it's been a busy day. Tomorrow, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I get Taylor in the morning, and then I'm going to go get my nails done because they really are in desperate need. So I'm going to get my nails done, and then I'm going to go to Costco, and then I need to swing by Target. I need to find some shoes for the wedding we're going to this weekend. So I'm going to do that, and then come home and make pizza for my husband, and for me, I'm going to use cauliflower crust for me, but he's going to have real pizza dough. And so that will be good for him and good for me. So I will try to vlog all that for you. I have my Tuesday vlog almost completed. So tomorrow morning is Friday morning. I will get that one posted and start working on my Wednesday/Thursday. I'm just trying to develop new routines to get these things done. So leave me comments. What are some things that you'd like to see me make or you'd like to see me try? I loved that someone reached out to me and said, give me cost comparison. And so that's something that I can do. So if you've got things that you want me to look into, leave me comments in the comments box down below. Please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like this type of content. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd invite you to do that, please. And until I see you next time, please live in the light.